for joining us for our wildfire briefing this week. Minister Loewen will speak first this morning, providing our weekly update on wildfire activity in Alberta, followed by the situational update from our Alberta Wildfire Information Officer, Josee St. Following both updates, the media will have the opportunity to ask questions. Please limit your questions to one question, one follow-up. We will also have Steve LaCroix from AEMA. That you can ask questions to should you need to. Okay, Minister Loewen.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me for this week's wildfire update. Alberta continues to experience higher than normal wildfire risk and activity for this time of the year, with several new wildfire starts since last week's update. Over the past week, Alberta had several active wildfires classified as out of control at various points in time, reinforcing the need for collective action on behalf of Albertans. We must all do our part to prevent human-caused wildfires and protect our communities and forests in the coming weeks. Protecting the lives of Albertans has always been and will continue to be our #1 priority. Let's talk about why everyone should consider downloading the Wildfire, Fireban, and Alberta Emergency apps. These apps are the most up-to-date information that every Albertan has at their fingertips to keep them informed or answer any questions they may have. If you'd prefer to look it up on your desktop computer, that works too. This past week, we had communities who received evacuation alerts. Please know that Alberta Wildfire is working very closely with local municipalities to contain and suppress these wildfires before they create a necessity to evacuate. We will continue to coordinate with local authorities, and we strongly urge you to stay vigilant and follow all local advisories and orders should they occur. Alberta Wildfire personnel, municipal firefighters, and regular everyday Albertans have done an excellent job responding to wildfires throughout the province. And Alberta's government continues to add more firefighters to its ranks every week, enhancing our response capacity as we move further into the 2024 wildfire season. Our personnel have been working tirelessly to protect our communities and forests, with 200 wildfires already fully extinguished just this year. While this elevated number of new wildfire starts in 2024 points to concerning levels of wildfire danger, it also means our response tactics are working. We will be introducing fire bans today. Alberta Wildfire's response is only one part of the equation. As I've mentioned many times before, wildfire prevention and preparedness is a shared responsibility. Everyone must do their part to safeguard their properties and communities by fostering wildfire resilience. One of the ways this can be done is becoming familiar with fire-smart principles. For Albertans who live in or near the forest, I urge you to assess your property for wildfire danger and take any preventive action you can to address these risks. This includes breaking up fuel sources that could ignite a structure, removing trees in close proximity to your home, and properly maintaining your gutters and roofs to rid the materials that could easily ignite, such as leaves and dry needles. These preventative measures and many others are all detailed on FireSmart Alberta's website. In addition to these FireSmart tactics, I encourage all Albertans to stay up to date on fire bans, restrictions, and advisories in your area. These preventative measures play a crucial role in reducing human-caused wildfires when risk levels are high. So far this season, we expect that almost all of the wildfires we've experienced so far this year are human-caused, given the point we're at in the season and the types of weather we're seeing. That's why it's important that Albertans take necessary precautions and do everything they can to prevent human-caused wildfires. I'll now hand things over to our Alberta Wildfire Provincial Information Officer, Josee St, who will be providing our operational update for this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. As of 9 a.m., there are 63 wildfires burning in the forest protection area of Alberta. Of those wildfires, none are classified as out of control, 7 are classified as being held, and 56 are under control. So far this year, we've responded to 205 wildfires in the forest protection area of Alberta that have burned about 755 hectares. Our 5-year average for this time of year is 120 wildfires with around 230 hectares burnt. Alberta Wildfire is also responding to a mutual aid fire in the municipal district of Peace. We are expecting cooler temperatures and some precipitation in parts of Alberta overnight and tomorrow, but conditions remain very dry. We need significant and continued rain to overcome the drought conditions that we are experiencing across many parts of the province. This is a critical time for wildfire in Alberta. Snow has melted and exposed dead and dry vegetation, which is extremely flammable for a wildfire. Until vegetation green up happens, wildfires will easily ignite and can spread very quickly. We ask all Albertans to continue doing their part to prevent human-caused wildfires. A fire restriction is in place in most of the forest protection area of Alberta, and many municipalities have put in their own fire bans and restrictions. Please use caution if you are spending time in a forested area, and check the Alberta Fire Ban's website to see if a fire ban or restriction is in place in your area. These restrictions are extremely important tools to help reduce the risk of new wildfires starting. I'll now turn it over to the Minister's press secretary for questions from the media.
Thank you, Minister and Josee. So we'll start taking questions from the room, and then we'll move to online.
Marc-Antoine Leblanc, Radio-Canada. Can I first ask you to summarize the situation in French?
Alors, ce matin, nous avons 63 feux qui brûlent dans la zone de protection de la forêt de l'Alberta. Il n'y en a aucun qui sont hors de contrôle. 7 sont classifiés comme étant contenus et 56 sont sous contrôle. Alors, nous sommes en train de voir des quantités de feux qui sont plus élevées que la moyenne. Et nous répondons aussi à un feu dans la région du Municipal District of Peace. Alors, on va avoir des températures un peu plus fraîches et de la pluie ce soir et demain, mais les conditions continuent d'être extrêmement sèches. On va avoir besoin de beaucoup de pluie et de la pluie pendant plusieurs jours pour faire une vraie différence dans la situation de sécheresse qu'on voit dans la province. Alors, c'est un temps d'année qui est critique pour l'Alberta parce que la neige a fondu et l'herbe et la végétation sèche est extrêmement flammable pour un feu et ce sont le genre de conditions qu'un feu peut se démarrer très rapidement et se propager rapidement aussi. Alors, on demande à tous les Albertains d'être très vigilants.
And though in French and in English, maybe I missed it, but how many people have been evacuated so far?
Yeah, good day. Steve Lacroix, the Managing Director of the Alberta Emergency Management Agency. So we are aware of 12 households evacuated in the Municipal District of Peace. So approximately 30 individuals is what I would say. And we still have 20 individuals still evacuated from Cold Lake First Nations, although the evacuation order has been lifted, so they should be back home shortly. Merci.
Someone else from the room?
Catherine Gurkowski, Alberta Today. I'm wondering, you said in the House that you're still analyzing the 2023 wildfire report. Will that be made public, and what work still has to be done on last year?
So the 2023 report is an internal report. There's an external report being done right now that isn't completed yet. That's being done by Emergency Services. And but the internal report is what we've been acting on already, is the recommendations from that report. But again, it was an internal report, and a lot of the changes that you see that we've done in wildfire to date have been a result of that report.
And you'd mentioned that mutual aid. I'm wondering what kind of conversations have you been having with municipalities, either within or outside the forest protection area?
Yeah, so with the municipalities, when a fire starts within a municipality outside of the forest protection area, the municipality is the lead on that fire. And as soon as they will come to us if they feel the fire hits a point where they would like some extra support. We are there and available and ready anytime, and to make sure that we give that support as needed. A lot of fires start that are very small, and municipalities are very quick at putting them out and taking care of them. It's the ones that start to grow to any size that as soon as they become concerned and call us, then we respond. The fire in the MD of Peace is one that we are helping with. Obviously, it's one that grew to a substantial size very quickly, and so that's one that we have a considerable amount of manpower and equipment working on too. And we know the municipalities do a great job for their municipalities, but when it comes to an enormous wildfire, then we appreciate the opportunity to come in and help where we can.
Jonathan Bradley, Western Standard. So you issued an evacuation order for the area near Peace River. What was the rationale for the evacuation order?
It was the size and the scope of the fire and the proximity to residences. As a wildfire, we don't issue evacuation orders or alerts. That's done through the municipality or through AEMA. We provide them the information, and they make the decision based on the information that we provide on the wildfire.
Okay, my follow-up pertains to you saying that there's been an uptick in wildfire starts this year. Why do you believe more wildfires are happening at the moment?
Sorry, mobile?
Why do you believe more wildfires are happening?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just based on the conditions. We had an early spring, and we had a low snow load, and those conditions alone are very conducive to wildfire. When we look at last year, we had a dry year last year too, so this all combines to conditions that lend itself to having more wildfire on the landscape.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a couple questions from the line. Operator, put through the first caller, please.
Alana Smith, Globe and Mail. Hi, thanks for taking my question. This might be for the minister, maybe it's for Josee. I think it was in February that you said that there's an intention to hire 100 additional firefighters, as you were bracing for the year wildfire season. Can you give us some sort of status update on that? And in total, how many firefighters we have now, full-time versus part-time, essentially just how the hiring is going?
So the numbers are changing all the time because we're bringing on more trained firefighters each week as they finish their training and come on. I believe the statistic was last week, and it's probably still true today, we're 39% ahead of last year as far as our hiring numbers, and so that is continuing. As far as the particular 100 extra firefighters, those firefighters are Type 1 firefighters, and those are some of the ones that are being trained now, and some of the ones that have already been trained and are working right now. So it's kind of hard to identify which firefighters are those 100. But by May 15th, when we plan to have our full staffing allotment, all those firefighters plus the ones that we've had in the past will be trained and ready to go.
Do you have a follow-up?
Sorry, can you still hear me? Can I follow up? Yes.
Yes.
I'm wondering, so you said about 39% ahead of last year as far as the hiring numbers, but can you be more clear about, so what is a full staffing allotment? How many is that, and how many do we currently have now, even in X?
And again, like I said before, the numbers are changing every day, and I don't get a daily report as far as how many firefighters that we have on the landscape at any given time. But again, we committed to having those additional firefighters on the landscape, and in addition to that, we've increased our fire TAC contracts. We have 5 additional fire TAC contracts that will be coming on stream this season, and that increases our fire TAC crews another 40 boots on the ground with those alone. So again, these numbers are changing every day as we train firefighters and put them out on the landscape, and we have. But I guess Albertans can be rest assured that we do have the additional firefighters that we had above and beyond what we had last year.
Operator, can you put through the next caller?
Bassin, Globe TV.
Yeah, good morning, Minister. A question for you. You mentioned that fire bans were being put in place today. I know it's very dire in the northern part of the province, but can you update southern Alberta and what we might be expecting in the coming days?
So yeah, I don't have the information for the fire bans that are coming in place today right in front of me right now, but they will be announced at 10 o'clock. As far as in the south, you'll be looking at along the eastern slopes and the foothills. Fire restrictions coming into place along there. I believe the far south and the eastern slopes will just remain under an advisory. But you're right, the far north will have fire restrictions broadly across the far north. So I'm not sure. Josee, did you want to add something?
Yes, so we're planning an expansion of the existing fire restriction, so it will cover the entirety of northern Alberta and will continue down south and include the Rocky Mountain House forest area. But like the minister said, the Calgary forest area will remain under a fire advisory as they've received a bit more moisture than the rest of the province.
Thank you.
Operator, can you put through the next caller?
Erica Rolling, Everything GP.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I'm just wondering about the MDS fire. It grew pretty rapidly overnight. I know that an update from yesterday was 400 hectares. Right now it says 1,500. I'm just kind of wondering what the response is like for that right now. If you like specific on equipment, boots on the ground kind of thing.
Yeah, so we did work on that fire through the night with, we have the night vision helicopter, and we also have fire crews that work through the night and dozer crews. I don't have the exact numbers of the people on the ground, and again, we're working with the municipality and their fire crews also. But you're exactly right, the fire did grow substantially since late last night. The fire activity during the night, I haven't received an update on that as far as the actual fire activity through the night hours. But again, we still are working on that fire. That is definitely a fire of concern right now, and it's one that's getting the attention it needs to make sure that we protect more homes in that area. Yeah, okay. Josee has some more numbers on that.
So I can confirm that Alberta Wildfire is providing support in the form of firefighting crews, wildland firefighters. So we had 4 crews there yesterday. Some of them worked overnight, so they'll get a rest today and new crews will come in to relieve them. We've also had heavy equipment operators working out there to strengthen containment lines. Helicopters have been deployed. They're bucketing water onto the fire, and we have air tankers available as well if needed, and we'll be continuing the nighttime operations as long as it's required.
Thanks for taking my question. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move back to the floor. Is there any more questions from the floor? No. Okay. Thank you. That concludes our weekly brief for this week.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks.